individuals have signed up. The first will be Shamgar Connors, followed by Michelle Wickman.
Hey everybody, my name is Shamgar Connors, Harwood District. First thing I want to talk about is, I know it's a Board of Supervisors issue, but I want to mention it here, is the rate of pay for teachers in Stafford. I do understand that teachers in Stafford are underpaid. I know from personal experience that I chose to get a job in Prince William County when I was teaching over Stafford schools because the pay was substantially higher, and I'm sure you guys all know that. I mean, I was a highly qualified teacher with 10 years experience when I moved over to Stafford, but I was living in Stafford working in Prince William. And I know that if schools want to incentivize more highly qualified teachers, I know I saw you said they're like a 12-year average, which is awesome, but if we want to incentivize more, we're going to have to raise the pay for teachers. And having more highly qualified teachers should lead to better outcomes and better passing test scores, you know, all that stuff. And I think it's important to do whatever we can to invest in development of our children. And so I'd like to come up with some kind of idea to substantially raise the pay rates for teachers. Usually I'm very against raising taxes, but in this case I would look at it as an investment in the future workers and leaders of Stafford. Also, I guess there's other ways to get more money from the state. I think there's a surplus in the budget from Youngkin. He can probably do something about it. And I know this is a, like I said, broad Board of Supervisors issue, but I want to mention it here and get interest in it. And next I want to talk about how the majority of Americans spoke, Trump won the election, and how that's going to affect our schools, and that to ask that we start implementing policy for Trump's 10-step plan for schools. He made a video, I'm sure, hopefully people saw it. So I'll try to summarize it. Big changes are coming. He's overhauling and abolishing the Department of Education federally, and it'll be moved to the states. I mean, it's been around since 1979, and by every single metric, the education system's gone worse. I mean, you have worse passing rates, worse retention rates, that kind of stuff. They'll have federal funds for all the child. There's going to be a $10,000 tax break for people to homeschool. There's no more DEI, CRTs to SELs. Liberal agenda is going to be abolished, and when the parents aren't happy with the schools, they'll take that money and place their children in a suitable educational environment. There'll be no more political indoctrination from radical leftists with their BLM and LGBTQ flags in the classrooms. No more being taught to hate their country but to love it. And something I was speaking out for a while, if you guys remember me talking about it, is now Trump said that if you attack, and there's immediate expulsion for any student that harms a teacher or another student, which is great. So that'll keep people safe. Trump's also going to ask Congress to pass a bill establishing that the only genders recognized by the U.S. government are male and female. They're assigned at birth. And I've had many parents come to me and tell me there's people in Stafford schools, teachers, that are asking children to use neo-pronouns like Zer, mix, Zer, fay, fairs, whatever. And parents are uncomfortable with this and don't want their children to have to use compelled speech by someone in power over them. And if people want to use these neo-pronouns outside of school, cool, no one cares. But in schools, that's just not acceptable. And a lot of parents I've talked to are scared to mention this because they're worried about getting stalked and doxxed and harassed. And so the main thing is we just want to have these kind of things implemented, and it's time to make education great again. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Ms. Wickman.
Hi again. So first of all, in light of the recent comments, I would actually like to speak in support of not making any changes to any of our policies unless specific mandates come down. I would hate to see us move away from being such an inclusive community that supports all of our students. So I do hope that we stick with those policies.